Hey y'all, welcome back to the Naptime CEO podcast. If this is your first time hearing my voice, hello, how are you? My name is Andy, and I'm a serial business starter and mom of two. Okay, I'm on the grind to grow a multi-million-dollar legacy, all while my little ones sleep, and I want you to join me. Don't forget to follow the show here and on Instagram at Naptime CEO Pod. Also, don't forget to rate the show. It helps way more than you think. All right. Now, Q4 is upon us, okay? Hell yeah, this podcast is a bit late, okay? But better late than never. Anyway, Q4 is the busiest season of the year, and for us as single moms running businesses, it can feel like the stakes are sky high, okay? Between kids, school events, holiday activities, and running our businesses, it's easy to feel like we don't have enough hours in the day, okay? But let me tell y'all something, all right? We're going to finish this year in the black, okay? And you can absolutely finish the year strong without sacrificing your sanity, all right? In today's episode, I'm giving you a mompreneur-focused Q4 playbook that's practical, profitable, and designed for the real-life chaos of running a business while raising your littles, all right? Stay tuned to the end of the episode for my 10-step mompreneur Q4 checklist. It is bite-sized, but doable, even if you're working during nap time or typically like me after bedtime. All right. Now, let's be real, y'all. We don't have teams of assistants and warehouses, no departments and teams put in place to handle our holiday projects or create huge sales campaigns and help us grow our clientele by huge numbers. So what do we have to do? All right, we got to be scrappy, we got to be smart, and we have to be strategic. And a lot of us too on the mom side, we don't have babysitters in the holidays, or babysitters just get, I don't know, scarce because people are doing their holiday stuff. So hopefully during this time, we're not only thinking about the sales, but we do have to be mindful of protecting our peace. And that does include our time and our minds, okay? During this season, we have to create some systems, okay? We love a system that works for us. And you got to pick and choose, okay, if you will, all right? In other words, we got to decide what's worth saying yes to and what you can release without guilt, okay? Think of Q4 as your chance to both finish strong and set up smoother systems for Q1, because this season isn't just about ending the year up, but about making sure we start our new year on solid ground. All right. Next, let's discuss our calendars and our boundaries. First, mark any key dates. There is Black Friday, which is November 28th, Small Business Saturday, November 29th. You got Cyber Monday, which is December 1st. So make sure y'all put these on your calendar. I'm giving you them right now. But also, depending on your industry, your religion, and your beliefs, you may be partaking in other important dates, okay? Or not, all right? Or not. So make sure that you mark all these dates on your calendar. I know for me, my birthday is December the 2nd, so look, I'm not working. I plan to take the entire month of December off because my birthday and my birthday month are important, okay? So I decide I'm going to be not doing anything, but actually going to work for the entire month of December. All right. What that means for me and for Naptime CEO is either I'm going to pre-record episodes, which is the plan, or preparing you guys for what happens if I decide not to post during that time. I do say all that to say that you want to take inventory of what your Q4 is looking like outside of your business and how you plan to address those inventoried items. Now that that's done, it's time to pick your battles, okay? If you can't do every holiday event or sale, that's okay. You can choose 1 or 2 anchor dates where you'll show up big, and then for the rest, you repurpose content or you automate. All right. Now here's a mompreneur boundary tip. All right. You want to schedule your family time in that same calendar as your sales campaigns. So if your child has a Christmas play or party, I keep wanting to say party. If your child has a Christmas play, block it. All right, block it. As soon as you figure out about it, block it. That's just as important as your shipping deadlines. Okay. We want to, and for me, I put all of my stuff on the same calendar. So it all goes in my Google calendar. It doesn't matter what it is. So I will put, so if I have an event for Go Ham or Rage Room, then I will put it on Go Ham's Google Calendar, but then I invite myself, my personal email as a invitee so that I know to block those days off because I am the one. Okay, I'm showing up either way, and I have to show up for both. I can't be in two places at once, so I make sure to put it on my calendar. That also keeps me from overbooking. And y'all know that goes into customer satisfaction, sales, and blah 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 blah. Okay. All right. Let's power forward. Okay. All right. If you have built an email list, which I do recommend, although I have not started mine for a Naptime CEO, whatever, but I do recommend that you pre-schedule 2 to 3 emails for your biggest promo days. So, and keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. In addition to that, I would recommend using templates where we are not reinventing the wheel here. You can purchase these on many websites. So again, keep it simple. Find one that you like, change the colors to your brand colors, and make any modifications you want to create a custom document. Okay. Another marketing technique that you can do is to use SMS as your backup when you don't have time to design fancy graphics. We've all seen the SMS text telling you you've left something in your car or reminding you of some huge sale, a special discount, or shipping notices. I know Fashion Nova is huge this time of year with text messaging, filling your text thread with their sales and last days to ship and stuff. So take advantage of those. A great way to create urgency is creating a text or email template, giving your clients the last day to check out if they still want their item before a certain holiday, like Halloween or Christmas. Amazon is really good at this. Amazon is telling you when you can get something. So if it's next day, Amazon is saying you can get it next day, or this will arrive before Christmas, or this will arrive before Halloween. So, as small business owners, we have to do the same thing. Now, don't forget when you're crafting these emails to attach a link back to your website, so your customers don't have to complete too many steps to do what you want them to do, which is either check out or book. So we want to make the entire process as simple as possible, okay? Because if not, if they don't have a link in the text message or there's no link in the email, it's easy for them to open it up, read whatever you put in there, and then close it and not look at it again. We don't want that, all right? Now, here are a couple of social media hacks, okay? First, you want to batch create posts one weekend and then schedule. So I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I don't really like doing anything on the weekend, but on Saturdays, I do nap, and I can stay up a little bit later. So if you can find the energy to stay up for a couple of hours after your little ones sleep, you can batch create on Saturday, compose and schedule during nap time on Sunday, right? So for me, that might even look like on Friday coming home from work, taking a nap, and that way I can stay up later Friday night and then do whatever. Now, I know that we're creating these businesses with the intent to make our lives easier, but up front, sometimes it's going to take a little bit more time. Once it's, down the road, you can do what you want. But in the beginning, it might take a little bit of time. All right? Anyway, next, you do want to use your kids, okay? One of my friends told me today she loves seeing the boys on my social media, which I try to keep them out of, primarily because I just don't want them in the spotlight like that. It really has nothing to do with them not being, they love the camera, okay? Let's be clear. But I don't want them to be too exposed, so I kind of keep them out. But I will every now and then post them on my social media. And for that very reason, I have friends who don't get to see them as often. They may not be local or whatever the case may be. So use your kids, all right? Whatever you got, use your daily life. I've got into these spaces where I will do like snippets of my day, my morning or my afternoon, and my routine changes. It's never the same every day. Now it's the same, but it doesn't look the same. So at night, we go to bed around the same time, but how we get there may look very, very different. And anyway, I'm going off on my tangents again, but the next thing or last thing in this particular thing you want to do is repurpose. So one product video can become a reel, a story, and a TikTok. So we want to make sure we keep that in mind. You can post across multiple, right? If it is a product post, maybe there is a carousel where you are taking a video of that thing and then maybe 4 or 5 shots of it being used or it in its environment, if it's decor or whatever the case may be. So you want to make sure you keep that in mind. Remember that your customers don't need polished posts. They need to know your product solves whatever problem they may have. So whatever your business is supposed to solve, that's what your customer needs to know, okay? All right. Next, we're going to discuss operations and simplifying fulfillment. Tip 1 is to zone in on your best sellers. So during this time, we can't stress about every SKU, all right? Now is the time to keep products and services that move and then drop those that don't. You can clearance the ones that don't move out, throw them in as freebies, or ignore them until you can rebrand them in Q1, right? Next, know your shipping days. Okay, I can't stress enough how important this step is. Whether you're using FedEx, USPS, UPS, whatever you're using, okay? You need to know whatever the rate increases are and those holiday cutoffs. And typically, if you go to their websites, or especially if you're friends with somebody that's at that particular facility, if you use it all the time, a lot of times they can tell you what these dates are going to be or how much slower it's going to be. Now, ensure that you're adding a 2 to 5 day buffer to avoid any shipping delays, and establish those shipping expectations with your customers. So everybody doesn't know, right? We would think they know, but everybody doesn't know that the holiday shipping can be slow. And so you want to make sure you set that expectation that if they order it here, they're going to get it here, and so on and so forth. In line with shipping, make sure to keep your packaging simple, all right? One of the things that I really like is you could create a packing station at your home. It's just one shelf with boxes, the tape, any thank you cards. That way, late night orders are easy to pack between bedtime routines. So you can even get your littles to help, right? They can put the not popcorn because it's not environmentally friendly, but like the napkins and whatever inside of your packaging, and then put the thank you card over there, and then another child could tape the boxes. All right. Now during this time, I do want to remind you that you can put your children on your business as employees on payroll for an additional tax benefits. Now I'm no expert, so I do say seek professional help before you go into all that, but you want to give them some extra money for the holidays because they like doing, they do what they're going to do, and they may like buying gifts or whatever the case may be. So instead of that coming out of your pocket per se, it comes out of your business pocket. They make money. It's a tax write-off, whatever. All right. That does take me to my last tip, and that is to get help. All right. Whether you're employing your kids for free or for a fee, okay, or enlisting the help of other relatives or friends, again, for free or for a fee, you'll want all the help you can get to meet order demands in this season. Some of this stuff is going to be, whatever you're selling can be so in demand this season, and people are selling everything, y'all. Little scrunchies, lip glosses, crochet projects, all the things, right? And during the winter months or the Christmas season, people like using these things as stocking stuffers. They like having these things around for little tchotchkes, whatever the case may be. So you want to make sure that you are prepared. Nobody wants to sit around and you have 200 orders and it's going to take you 5 days to get all that packaged and sent out. Get help, all right? You made the money. Whatever. All right. Next, you want to make sure that you show your customers that you appreciate them, and you want to add some personal touches, all right? In line with those thank you cards, you could add kids' doodles. You can include handwritten notes. You can give away freebies again. Like I said, products that you just want to get rid of. You don't really care if they make money or not. You can get rid of those. Now, this goes a long way with your customer service, all right? Let's be real. Customers love real human touches. They also love freebies, whatever. You can also do like holiday extras, like gift wrapping. You could do gift card offers. So in line with gift wrapping, you can do that for free, right? Or for a fee. So for $3 extra, we wrap it, we put the note on it, whatever, and we'll ship it just like that. Or in line with gift cards, if they buy a $50 gift card, then they get $5 on top of that gift card. So they pay for 50, but they get 55, right? Or you can even bundle your products and services for a discounted rate. So for the Rage Room, a lot of times what we'll do is we'll throw in extra TVs. If you book an hour, then you get 2 extra TVs, whatever. They love stuff like that, right? And then don't forget that the post-holiday retention. So the email list that you were creating becomes a vessel to let your customers know you didn't forget them just because the season is over. So you can send them a January thank you email, and then make sure that you highlight your gratitude, share the behind the scenes of how their support impacted your family, and invite them back for a New Year promo. Keep in mind to do what works for your business. Branding is essential here. And what I say by that is, if your target customer is men, whatever, do the things that men feel like show gratitude, whatever the case may be. And that depends on what your business is. It doesn't make any difference what it is. It could be a coupon. It could be a discount code to come back and shop some more. All those things. Okay. Branding is essential. So we want to make sure that we are keeping that in mind through the whole process. All right. Now, I saved the best for last. All right. We've gone over the steps you should take to make Q4 impactful. Now let's talk about how to protect your peace during a time that's not only busy professionally, right, but personally. Keep in mind that not every opportunity is for you. So not every pop-up shop is going to align with your business. So don't go. All right. And say no to extra custom orders if it is going to drain you. Here's definitely where I'll say utilize your order limit. So limit all your custom orders. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, I say limit them things, period. Okay? But especially during this season. So if you know that in a week, you can take on 10 orders, and then you can take on 3 custom orders. Once you take those 3 custom orders and those 10 regular orders, cut it off for the week. All right? I'm not doing any more until next week. If you do order after this time, be mindful that it won't get done till next week. And a lot of that is setting that expectation so that your customer's not looking up. It's been 4 weeks. Y'all know how to get on y'all know how to get on Instagram and be like, it's been 4 weeks and I ain't heard nothing, right? That's where that comes from. It's lack of communication with your customer, and we don't want that. We want to make sure they know that this week we got 13 orders. Once that 13 is full, I'm not doing any more till next week, whatever the case may be. All right. Next, remember our motto. We're building businesses that work in our current lives. Not too much disruption. All right. With that being said, your kids would rather have a present mom than a stressed out one. I promise y'all. I promise. So these steps will hopefully help you build a business that works around your family and not the other way around. Okay. Before I leave this part, I will say this. Q4 is really about legacy. It's really not just about sales. The systems that you create now, those emails, the calendar blocking, the customer list, establishing those that rapport with your customer about communicating and giving free stuff away, that'll serve you long after the holidays. Okay. Now we're just about at the end, and I'm going to give y'all my Q4 checklist for mompreneurs. All right. Number 1 is that we want to pick 1 or 2 major promo dates. We don't want to try them all. And I would honestly, if it's just a big ask, go with 1, right? Go with a Black Friday sale and do it big for that Black Friday sale. And then for Thanksgiving and Christmas or whatever you celebrate, we want to do something, right? You can even throw a sale in, but not too much. Now, we are still early enough to where you can have those templates and everything designed. Remember things like Fiverr and Upwork. These are people who can create these things for you. You tell them what you want. They create them for you. They get what you want. You post as you see fit. Okay? Next, and that brings me to this, pre-schedule all your emails and your social media posts. Okay? So if you are recording on Saturday and editing and composing and scheduling on Sunday, make sure you stick to that schedule for yourself and for your business. All right. Next, stock up on your bestsellers. don't stock up on everything. If you got 5 things that have done very well throughout the year or during this particular period, keep those 5 things. Everything else can go away till after the new year. All right. You want to block off your family events for your calendar. I don't care. All right. If your business has its own separate email, its own separate calendar, invite yourself as an invitee so you know the dates are still off. And make sure you go in and accept the invitation so it'll appear on your calendar. All right. Create that kid-friendly packing station. Remember, get our kids involved. This is not just important for your business in terms of the productivity part. This also includes them in that thing. Remember, we're creating these businesses that work with our family. Our family can work in the business. Nobody said they can't do that. So this is just a way of helping them do that. And I also think that them seeing you as a hardworking entrepreneur, it just inspires them to go off and be their own person as well. All right. Next, build in those shipping buffers. So for me, that's 2 to 5 extra days. All right. Keep messages simple and authentic. Add personal touches that connect. Automate as much as possible. And last but not least, celebrate your small wins. Every order matters. Okay? Period. All right. I will put this checklist in the show notes just in case you want to copy it and paste it for your review later on down the road. All right. We are done. Okay? That is it for today's episode. So, so long. Farewell to you, my friend. Goodbye for now until we meet next Wednesday. I definitely hope to see y'all next week. Remember, you don't have to do it all to be successful. Conquering Q4 isn't about perfection. It's about showing up consistently, protecting your time and your peace, okay? And building something sustainable for both you and your business, all right? And we also want to make sure that we are prepping for the upcoming year and Q1. So remember, the holiday is just not the end. It's just one of the biggest seasons for a lot of companies. Q4 is the best time for them. So we want to make sure that we are ready for Q1 even. All right, today's motivation, a cliche, but you've got this, okay? Because you really do. Now go make this your strongest quarter yet, all right? If today's episode has inspired you to make some much needed changes for your Q4, I would appreciate it if you shared this with a fellow hustling mama. Don't forget to support my Etsy and follow us on Instagram and YouTube. If you want to have the video version, okay? Remember, keep your head high and your patience in abundance. Until next week, bye.